Hello and welcome, everyone.
Hi, everybody. That was so extra. I was not ready for that.
Chaos incoming.
Really dramatic, don't worry. And then I was like,
I told you, I was like, this is going to be like mega dramatic. And you were like, you still weren't prepared. Like,
yeah. I wasn't ready.
Welcome, everyone.
Happy Colonizers Day, everybody.
Yes. Happy. Yeah. Like
happy rebuke the system. Rebuke it all.
Rebuke the lies.
I've just started calling it Happy Family Food Day.
Yeah.
Today is the day where we get together with families and eat our food.
And a lot of people aren't able to do that this year, which is kind of how this happened, because I was already like, well, I have to basically self-quarantine because I have some work coming up where I can't risk getting the COVID.
Yeah.
I can't risk it. So, because no, not to exaggerate, but I could possibly shut down the entire NBA season. Because I have some shoots coming up that I have to direct, and if I'm on set and I happen to contract COVID at Thanksgiving, and then I'm around these athletes, and then I ruin the NBA, that's not a good look.
Oh my God, that would
for both personal and career looks, just bad all around.
So I have to make sure that I'm healthy if I'm going to be around these professional athletes and whatnot on these shoots. And this is not even pre-COVID. I've had solo dolo Thanksgiving, so it's not a big deal to me. Some years just didn't have anything better to do. And I've kind of gotten through the whole this is kind of weird to actually enjoying it. But I know some people are having their first solo dolo Thanksgiving, and they might feel a little bit lonely. They might want some company. So I was going to go live. And then either during your, and again, happy belated birthday, during your birthday live on Monday, or maybe the one that you did on Tuesday, you're like, oh, Audra, are you still going live on Thursday? It's just well, if Audra's going live and I'm going live, maybe we should just...
all together now.
It's a fan.
We are, y'all. And then there's also going to be a secret live, which is really a Zoom. It's not going to be a stream. It'll be so that we can all kind of talk in real time instead of having to respond to the chat, which is private. So you have to be either part of the LGG Discord or part of my Patreon. And then that will be on Zoom at an hour 20-ish from now, whenever we're done wrapping up here. And there might be dog walks and bathroom breaks.
Yeah, I might have to run and see if I can pick up something to drink, because listen, I'm not gonna lie, this quarantine has my ass just drunk.
Just drunk. That's
just
the end
drunk.
Of the sentence. Just drunk. I am drinking a cider and coffee at the same time. Iced coffee and cider, because uppers and downers, I guess. That's
like a hillbilly speedball.
I got water, hillbilly.
Wait, we are in the Twilight Zone. Audra is drinking water.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because Fiji water is more watery than water. That says that.
But you're still drinking water.
I actually have that in my Twitter bio too. It says that Fiji water is more watery than water.
But I've also done the solo Thanksgivings, and for me, the last probably 10 years, Thanksgiving is usually more of a friend time, I guess, chosen family, or Friendsgiving. I remember when I first moved to New York, it was known as Orphans Thanksgiving, because anyone that was basically too broke to go home for Thanksgiving, or then it turned in, or it turned into anyone that doesn't want to experience family. Here's your chosen family. So I've done the one person, two people, 20 people Thanksgiving. So I was okay with this year, but it's nice to have my fam, my chosen fam to hang out with, because y'all are.
Listen,
Stephanie, you're not alone, by the way. You're with us.
Yes, exactly. No one is alone.
Together. We're alone together, y'all.
Yeah.
We have the technology.
See, I've never liked Thanksgiving. I don't know what age it was.
As years have gone on, it's just I can't not pay attention to what it actually is.
Yeah.
Yeah. As soon as I realized that, it was
Yeah. Because it used to just be let's get drunk and eat food and cook, because you, Emily, I went to college out here in Cali. I'm from Queens, and I was just I am not paying $500 to go home for 3 days. You're out of your mind. So I haven't spent Thanksgiving with my family since I came out here for college when I was 17. I've been doing Friendsgiving, and we would call it Orphan Thanksgiving, literally verbatim, same thing. orphan Thanksgiving, and we would just like cook together out here, and it was great. But now I'm elderly, and most of my friends are off, so they have families and whatnot. So we still do it some years, other years we don't, because like, oh, we're keeping it small, we're just doing family this year, and I'm just like, fine with me. I don't want to be around them kids.
Yeah, for real.
Same.
So yeah,
I was around my cousin today, and he's like telling me all kinds of, and I said, hold on, baby. I looked at him and said, hold on, baby, let me put my phone down. Here's something you need to know. When you're talking to somebody, you need to wait for them to make eye contact, okay? And then that way you know that they're listening to you. So let me not be rude to you and listen to you. He's 5.
But I mean, as somebody who doesn't love kids and doesn't want any of my own, I think it's good to teach them early. That's basic things. That's social. To me, that's social cues. And a lot of people don't teach that. They just assume it's learned. But yeah. Also, elderly wear, please. Yeah.
Like,
oh, wait, Yolanda, I clicked the wrong one. But
elderly, then I'm like godlike at this point.
But you are godlike, so I mean,
there are a couple of years in between Audra and I, but spiritually, I am the oldest person on the planet. Like, I am literally shaking my fist at a kid skateboarding in front of my home most days. Like, that's what I'm usually doing.
But do you also peek outside your blinds all the time to see what the hell people are doing? So do I. I'm like, what are you doing out there?
I frown in disapproval.
Yes.
And then I retreat.
And I also make this noise. And then retreat. Be like, look at them out there catching that COVID.
And then what are they doing down there? That's how I spend my time.
It's the to me. So,
like I do.
That's what it is.
And it's worse when you have a dog because you looked at your dog, you're like,
yeah.
Boy, look at this.
For Becca, it's just like the confirmation bias from Ray Ray. She's just like, yeah, they're shady.
I know. Bro, just like, I put a video on my Instagram stories today of Bo snoring like he was going off, like all the way off, just because people don't believe me when I'm like, no, he snores like he's a grown ass man.
Oh dear.
And they're like, no. And like both my mom and aunt heard it today, and they were like, oh, what? I'm like, yeah, he does that. Like that's his life. He is pampered.
I love this cat. I am yelling at neighbors' kids when I see them in danger years old. See, I think I am me just yelling at neighbors' kids, but not caring that they're in danger.
I have literally told people to get off my lawn. Like I don't have a lawn in my current place, but at my last place I did, and I have literally told people to get off my lawn.
I am telling people that they can't park across the street like that because their shit will get a ticket on it. Old like, oh, they put up a sign. The city done put up a sign. You're gonna get a ticket. And they're like, oh, and I'm like, that's all I tell you. When they start ticketing, don't say I didn't warn you. Like,
but anyway. All of that to say, very happy to see you guys. I can't believe this is the first time we're actually doing a live together. I mean, I know Audra and I did the one for Jenla's reviews a while back, but like we've never like done a like Lagutta Gang live where I'm usually just running my mouth in the chat. So I'm excited to be with you guys, and I'm excited to see you all in the chat. I know I haven't had much of a chance to respond because like we're going off on these tangents about my work.
Once you have like 3 people in the chat, like in the stream, I feel like more than 2 people, it becomes really challenging to actually pay a lot of attention to the chat because you're like, wait, I'm listening to 2 different people and like following along. So, but
and also I'm too chicken shit. I've been too chicken shit to ask. Like I've just been sitting in my chicken shit coop, being like.
Out of all people,
everybody's like, you should ask
Audra,
and I'm like,
as the person
usually
who got called out by T for not telling her that you have a channel.
I'm still tight about that. Because like Audra had been in my comments for years, and I was just like, she's so pretty. Because I could like see her little avatar, but like I guess it just never occurred to me to like click and actually like eyes emoji, like what's going on over there. And then I find out from freaking Lacey, Spooky Lips and Fat Hips. She's just like, Audra at home did a really great video. She's like, I was like, wait, my Audra at home? How am I finding out like this?
It's your house. Like I have a rule. I have rules about like being in other people's houses because it's like a thing that I loathe.
Like, people do go in the comments to like, please check out my channel and subscribe. I'm just like, block.
Yeah, it makes it like that irritates me. So if you want to get blocked, like do that because that just I get so annoyed. I'm like,
if that's the only
now I don't want to.
Because
I will mute their ass.
In your case, you were a regular commenter. So like if you had just mentioned, I made a video kind of like this, or I made a video that was inspired by something you talked about, something like that, like that's different. But if literally I don't know you from Adam, and the only time you come in my comments is to promote yourself, you are blocked. Yeah. Or another great way to get blocked, I do a video where I talk like 20 minutes about something and your only comment is something that I said wrong, like I mispronounced the name or first of all, that has nothing to do with any of the actual substance of the video. So your only comment is to like goof on me? Fuck out of here.
Yeah.
I have to say, that's actually something I've learned and evolved on, not in videos, but like noticing misspellings. It used to be a thing where it was like, oh, well, if they can't spell something right.
No, he's being annoying. That's why.
I mean, I have to reserve the right to ignore everything Rami says. So I'm just
pretty much, yes.
Serious, or is he not?
You
were saying, is he serious or is he in Rami mode? No, that's something that I've gotten better about. Like when I see like misspellings, like I felt like for a long time it was like, oh my god, well if you can't like spell things right, why should I listen to you? And I'm like, that's ableist as fuck. Like that's just like very much like, oh well, you didn't go to school long enough, or you're not taking enough time and attention. And I understand why it might be annoying or like it might like activate something in you. Like I know I've had friends who were like English majors or teachers and they were like, it's hard to see sometimes, but I also realized that saying someone's message is not worth sharing because they misspelled something is like I've changed my tune on that.
I talked to Jen about that too.
More patience with that because I'm a writer, so I like it pains me on a daily basis to just see the grammar. Like I am the grammar snob. Like guys, please learn how to use an apostrophe. Like the number of misplaced apostrophes I see has me at home just quietly tracing my veins with a razor blade. But it's I also have to check myself because I'm like, all right, that's being classist. Like I've devoted my life to mastering this language, although even I will make mistakes because I'm a fucking human being. It's really just when people like literally your only comment is to try to like, you feel better now? Like you feel good now that you're just like, look how stupid you are because you said the wrong actor's name when you were talking about this movie. Like, you feel better now?
Yeah.
I hope you do.
I hate that because I'm like, why are you trying to belittle me?
That's the one thing you picked up on. Cute.
Yeah. They're like, you said this wrong. I'm like, oh no. But you knew what the fuck I was talking about. So why did you do that?
Yeah.
Like that's
you chose not to listen except for to find my flaw.
The other 19 minutes and 55 seconds of the video though.
I know.
Exactly.
Like, is there a way that you could just not be rude? Like, because I've had one nasty comment, and somebody came in on one of my videos that it was poorly organized, it was childish, and all of this stuff. And so I sat there, and then I responded back to them, and I said, "Hi. I hope that being super nasty to a stranger on the internet helped you with whatever you were going through today. Signed, Childish." They deleted the comment.
That's happened to me a few times too. Where like I will clap back if I got the I got time today. I will clap back and like kill them with kindness is the best because they'll usually be so ashamed they'll delete. I remember there was one video where I don't know why I remember this specific one, but it just I think because it tickled me. I'm Trinidadian on my dad's side, which makes me Trinidadian, and you guys know. Plantain is how you guys say it. Plantain. We say plantain. That's how West Indians say it. So that is how I said it in the video. And someone like wrote it, I'm like, plantain? It's a plantain. As a Trini, plantain actually makes me cringe. So I wrote back, I was like, it's not if you're Trinidadian. Like 3 word response. I was like, not if you're Trinidadian, it ain't. Deleted comment. Because it's just like You got shut
They're
down.
like,
It's just like,
I actually got criticism. What?
yeah. And just like the haughtiness of it all, like, hey, idiot, it's plantain. Not if you're Trinidadian.
And I've actually heard it
pecan
pronounced
and
a lot of
pecan,
different ways, like because there's plantanos, and so I could see how it's like plantain. Like I could see how like the way you say it could change from region to region based on language influence or other things. So yeah, it's that same thing of like correcting somebody when you're like, you're actually wrong, and this is a variable situation.
Somebody did that to me on Twitter. We were talking about omelets, and I feel like it was on a Welsh Brothers like tweet thread, and I spelled omelet, and then somebody told me that I spelled omelet wrong, and I was like, no, I didn't. It can be spelled either way.
Yeah.
And then they were like, well, I was just joking, and I'm like, it was a bad joke because nobody thought it was funny because other people came in underneath.
Joke, be funnier.
That's the best part is other people came underneath and were like, yeah, no, actually it can be spelled either way. So, and I was like,
you misspelled rude comment. It's not spelled Joke. It's spelled differently.
I love Twitter. Black Twitter has been giving me so much life lately. Just like in all of the messiness, like there's a whole thing of Black people talking shit to to Uno, being like, Uno don't know the rules to the game.
That's amazing.
Have you seen that? Like they've gone through.
I have not seen that.
They're like, y'all release this to Black people and we have the rules and these are the rules.
Uno has always been a game where everyone has their own rules. Like to make rules for Uno in 2020 makes no sense. Like
because they were like, oh, you can't.
I have a feeling that these rules are not new. It's just that we finally have a forum to be like, listen. I've had
That's fair. That's fair. Yeah, no, the rules are not new.
Years.
Yeah, like it was just funny because Uno came out and said you cannot drop another draw card on top of another draw card.
Oh, they
and we're like,
said it.
You
oh no,
those are the rules. Like you just bam, bam, bam. You just keep going and
keep stacking. You stack until like somebody is very, very sad.
Yes, until somebody's sitting there like.
We literally used to play that on lunch break when I worked at the bakery. Like we had like a moment, like probably like 6 months where we were playing that. And the deck that we had actually had a couple of cards where you could write in rules.
Ooh.
And so it would be like you like tell somebody else to draw 10 cards, or you draw 10 cards, or like swap hands, or just like really like just things where somebody definitely picked up 36 cards at one point in time.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's disrespectful.
Wait, have you ever played that drinking game where it's like a it's like chain of events or something?
It's probably yes. If it's a drinking game, yes, probably.
You know what I mean? It's like you do like a chain of events. So like one person will clap and the next person has to clap and then add. And if you pick it up, then you have to like whoever's
King's Cup or something.
Yeah, something
I feel like there's something Kings with drinking games.
Definitely one. I think that's what we called it. Yeah.
Everybody's mad. Like the hell you can. Of course you can. Uno is like, listen.
I'm a board game, card game kind of person. Like I really like them, but especially because then I realized drinking could become a part of it. So,
I am way too competitive with board games and stuff like that. Like I yell at people. Like I yell at you. I'm the person who's like, in your face. Like
opposite. Maybe this is an Aquarius thing, but I detest competition. I'm like, can't everybody win? Like that's like it just like we are like tender thugs Aquarians. So like everyone thinks that we're like heartless, but actually it's just like I'm actually a glass cage of emotions. So like any game where somebody has to lose like stresses me out. Like I don't even enjoy winning because it means someone else has to lose.
Oh my God!
That's so sweet. Truly,
I hate games for that reason. I like games when like the stakes are very low. Then I can still enjoy. Or drinking games because whatever.
You kind of forget. You're just like, oh, okay, that happened. I'm kind of right in the middle.
Everybody wins.
I'm a tourist.
Exactly.
I am competitive as hell, and
No,
Emily and a lot of LGG have seen it when we're playing Among Us.
Oh,
And I was like, I told y'all I wasn't the. I'm like, told y'all I wasn't the imposter, and then they lost the game. Like, see, and you lost the game. What?
and I think it's different because I can't see your face, and I'm not like it's not an in-person thing. Because I've had people that are like that with games, and after a while, I'm like, fuck you, get the fuck out of here. I don't want your energy. But like when we're gaming, I'm just like, okay, I'll just be an Audra.
I was just gonna call out becoming healthy and happy. Yeah, I love Jeopardy though, because then I'm just like playing myself at home, and like I'm like such a nerd. I'll be like, what ising at home? I'll be like, what is Citizen Kane? I'm that loser. R.I.P. Alex Trebek, by the way.
Oh,
I know that is like. He really was.
I like that you called yourself that loser. You're like, I am that loser.
I am that loser. It's my favorite show, except for like The Wire, of course.
I loved Jeopardy. I also really used to like Wheel of Fortune. I don't know why I liked it so much. Yeah. I think there was something like
world because I feel like there's two camps of people. It's like Jeopardy people and Wheel of Fortune people, and never the twain shall meet.
I like both.
So both of you guys have just like blown my mind that you're both like, oh, I love both.
Yeah. But I think because they played back to back in my like, and so
that's when I would change the channel when I would hear Wheel of Fortune music.
It's because like I like puzzles, so both of them are like kind of puzzle games to me. So I was like, yes, bitch, it's on.
Sometimes with Jeopardy, I didn't feel smart enough for it, but Wheel, I did. Like
Wheel,
I know. Fuck you.
But Jeopardy is all lizard brain, so I love it where it's just like I don't know the answer, but somehow I know the answer because so many of the questions is just like, have you ever heard of this thing? Because it kind of has to do with this thing, and then if you can make that connection, you can usually get the answer right.
See, I think my least favorite was Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. I hated that game.
Oh yeah, I know.
Is that still on?
Ugh.
Because it was again R.I.P. And then like Meredith Vieira was doing it.
Boy,
I definitely had a moment that I was watching it because it was culturally like what everyone watched, but I don't think I enjoyed it.
Who Wants to Be a Millionaire when it first started was a moment. And I remember the first guy who actually won the $1 million, Audra will appreciate this, his name was John Carpenter, like the fucking horror guy. And I was just like, this is weird. And he works for the IRS. See, this is lizard brain coming at you. He works for the IRS. And I was just like, well, at least he'll like know how to fucking juke his taxes.
Yeah.
Oh, and see, now I fucking hate hearing that because I'm like, you work. I mean, I know everyone has to work for somebody, and that's capitalism. But at the same time, I'm like, fuck the IRS. Fuck
yes.
Nobody likes
the IRS for real.
Because it's just like that's why to this day I still don't understand it when I'm like having to constantly explain this to like people who have gotten, I guess, swindled by the IRS, like not the real IRS, and they're like, well, they called. I'm like, the IRS doesn't call you, and they're like, what? I'm like,
the IRS
like, it's the one. Yeah, because I said, bro, the IRS is the only government entity allowed to just jack your check, your actual check.
Oh yeah, they'll mail you and have already taken your shit. Like
because they'll mail you, they send you shit certified mail, and they're like, we know you got it. Yeah, you have time to call us, and if you don't do it by this date,
you call.
We're just going to start taking. Yeah, they're like, you can call us, and you're like, okay. And if you don't do it, then they're like, cool. We're just going to start jacking your checks until we get our payment. And they don't even tell you how much they're going to do. They just do whatever they want. They could take your whole damn check if you weren't paying attention. So it's like, because I said, like, that's that guy who was hitting on me that one time, and he actually farted while he was sitting next to me. Like, it was the worst. It was the worst come on I've ever experienced in a wooden chair.
Intentionally?
I think he was just really smashed. Because at first of all, I was wearing long sleeves. So he started talking shit about women who have tattoos everywhere. And he was like, yeah, they're so trashy. And I was like, and I opened up my shirt and pulled up my sleeves. And I'm like, you mean like this? Like, yeah. He's like, well, I was like, bro, you are not doing a very good job of hitting on me. And he was like,
then he panic farted.
I think so. He did.
A panic fart.
Panic farted.
Not recommended.
No.
And I was just like,
I saw a meme once, and it kind of just sums up my life in a nutshell. And it says, another day of being sexually attracted to heterosexual men, and it's just a picture of a lady with her neck laid across some train tracks smiling. And I'm like, oh, my life. And like that story,
I've seen that.
that story really just brings it home for me. It's just like, wow, that time the guy was hitting on me and farted. Like, this is what it is to be sexually attracted to heterosexual. These things happen.
And it's the best. It's the best reasoning for why sexuality is not a choice. Like heterosexuality for women is proof that sexuality is not a choice. Fuck everyone that tries to play that.
I came to that conclusion I was like, gay people aren't choosing it because neither am I.
Like, I don't want it, but I want it.
I know.
I don't want it.
No, thank you. I was good. I was good until, because it's just, I don't know. It just is straight cis men. Why are they? Why do they exist?
Yeah.
Because they just ruin everything fun. You could be having a good time until a hetero male comes over. And then they're just like, I've come to ruin your day. And you're like, that is unfortunate. I was not looking forward to this or prepared. I should have been, but I wasn't.
I did not request your appearance. You can go away, sir. Access denied. Go away.
I don't remember putting up a bat signal for a mouth breather. Please get out of my face.
A mouth breather.
So much.
I'm good though, because now that I have committed to dying alone, I am significantly happier. Like this is, I am committing to
alone.
Welcome.
Yes.
Welcome to the dying alone party.
I have,
and by dying alone, I just mean dying without a romantic partner, not alone.
Without a romantic partner.
Without friends or people I love.
I came to, I'm at peace with the fact that I was not made to be around other people. I was.
Me too.
That's not
Same.
Yes,
Same.
That's not my purpose, you know? And I'm
There's somebody that's directing an NBA.
I mean romantically. Like
I know.
To hang out with people and then go the fuck home and have quiet, my own space.
Yeah. I like to hang out and then nude it up, you know? Just mute it up and just be in here doing the nude thing. Being like, what's up?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I do what I call dad mode, which is sweatpants and no shirt. That tends to be I'm relaxing at home. Like I'm somebody's dad, just sweatpants, no shirt. I don't know. It's comfortable for me.
Oh my God.
It's cozy. Because sweatpants are cozy, but then like your upper body is like, we're good. Cool.
Yeah,
Did you wear the Pageboy grandpa hat?
Like, that's what my dad was always. He was always wearing like pajama pants or sweatpants, no shirt. I was just like home clothes.
Wait, you would. If you wear the Pageboy grandpa hat, then that's just perfection.
That's a look. That's an OnlyFans look.
Listen, if I ruin the NBA, that'll be my career plan B.
Oh no, Alex. She's just popping in to avoid dry white bread combo.
It's gonna be only dads, but it's gonna be like me.
Yeah.
Okay, sign me the fuck up. I will
sign me up too.
I will do some gender bender, yeah.
It'll just be me. Like for some reason, I am always inadvertently dressed like a manic pixie dream girl, but like I'm a black girl. And then I was like, well, they need to make some of these that are black then, I guess. Cause like I have on I just put on whatever. Like I don't even care anymore. I'm just like, oh, it's cold. Let me put these like leggings on. They're just wild ass leggings. And then I just have on like this beautiful black skirt with like wild ass spotty like LuLaRoe leggings underneath, crazy socks that don't even match each other, weird like sandal shoes that I've slapped on, 7 different coats. It's just like a whole mismatch. And I'm surprised nobody just like is that a bag lady or what's happening there? I'm like, I live here.
Just call me Erica, but don't. I like to shop the men's department a lot. And I always have, I know that's becoming kind of like mainstream, I guess. Yeah. Like I see a lot of like the fashion influencers, like go to the men's department. They've got really cool pieces. Like I always have.
It's also cheaper.
I mean, I've always played around with, I guess, androgyny to a certain extent. Like, there's something really unsettling to me to this movement of like hyper femininity, like all these like femininity channels that are popping up on YouTube are making me a little uncomfortable, because I'm just like, why does femininity have to mean one thing? If anything, they're like gatekeeping femininity, and they're saying you're not in it because I like to wear trousers. Like, it's just weird.
Like literally, like I wear skirts because I don't like to look at my legs. They freak me out. That's where my BD really lies, and like the look of my legs, it reminds me that I am that small, and it freaks me the fuck out. So like I started wearing skirts to not like freak out about it. So that's why I wear them. It's not like, it actually has nothing to do with femininity. It just has everything to do with me being like, let me hide them weird little twigs that stick out of the bottom half of my body. Like,
and I think that there should be room to have different interpretations and expressions of femininity. It shouldn't be like, if you want to be feminine, get a French manicure and wear heels and a dress. I'm just like, well, yeah, that's a version, but I still feel very feminine. Like, I don't have gender dysphoria. Like, I just feel like, it's just like a mood. It's a whole ass mood. If I want to wear freaking wingtips and a skirt, that's very me. And like, it's playing with this spectrum of femininity, but I don't really feel like some woman who decides to express as more girly in that textbook sense of it is more feminine than I am fundamentally. I think that's weird.
Yeah, I don't actually spend any time trying to figure that out. Like, I never sit there thinking like, I want to look girly today. I'm just like, I'm putting on these
it's just like, what's the fucking feeling? What's the look? What's the vibe today?
Yeah. And it's just like weird, like the whole Harry Styles kerfluffle, as if that hasn't already been done, but that's okay.
Prescribing what is masculine, prescribing what is feminine, prescribing what is acceptable and what is not. Like, y'all need to stop. I thought we were moving past this.
That's why this like reignited like femininity thing feels very like conservative white woman trying to hold on to the past.
Yes.
And I'm not saying everyone that's doing that is that kind of person, but that's what it feels like to me, because it's very much like, well, if you want to be feminine, this is the box you need to fit in. And we're over here like, the box is smashed to bits. Fuck the box.
Yeah.
Like, there is none.
And that's kind of why I said I wanted to wear them all.
I want to wear dresses. I want to wear jeans. I want to wear combat boots. I want to wear dresses with combat boots. This is
same. Yeah. One of my favorite looks is a dress or skirt thing with a leather jacket. Like, with my leather jacket. I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like, I guess so, because Emily and I were talking about this at one point, and I said, well, I was like, I kind of wish that people would still just say he's handsome, because I feel like nothing against the word pretty or the feminine energy, none of that. But I feel like if we could just normalize saying that a man is handsome in a dress, then we can just get past the bullshit. Because the second that somebody says he's pretty, then like all those weirdos who like to have their talking points are like, pretty. And see, this is masculinity is dead. And so I kind of get to a point where
masculine men, I've called so many masculine men beautiful without it has nothing to do with what they're wearing. Like, some men are just like, that's a beautiful man.
Thank you.
But see, this is interesting, because I think, Audra, I think you and I have a similar energy but different perspective, where I think that if you perceive someone as handsome, you should call them handsome, whether they are a man, a woman, non-binary. And like, I think saying like pretty is only like should only apply to feminine looks, and then handsome should only apply to more masculine or androgynous looks, also continues the binary in a way. So I don't know where I land 100% on it, but I think that like the people that are like, oh, masculinity is dead. Fine, masculinity is dead. I don't give a fuck. But see, this goes against kind of
if we're doing word association and you say masculinity, the first word that I want to say is toxic. So okay.
Exactly.
So for me, like, I go back and forth, and it's like, we need labels to call things. Like, I did a whole friggin' video about this.
I remember that.
We need labels to call things. So I don't think it's necessarily a problem with being like, this would better be classified as something that is feminine traditionally. This is better classified as something that's masculine. It's the value system that we assign to them. So we shouldn't be saying that this guy is less valuable, less worthy because he likes to borrow from the column of things that might be considered more feminine. Like, that's bullshit. He's not more or less valuable. It's just who he is.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's super weird that we can't, because here's the thing, I like in that same vein, I like to call a man pretty when he's in a suit, you know, and be like, he's very pretty. Like, because I think that
a pretty boy is like, again, that is it's a term that refers to a very specific thing.
Who Tilda Swinton does so much for me. Listen, I randomly just Google search Tilda Swinton when I'm sad. Like, I just look at images of Tilda Swinton. Like, no joke. I literally like will do that. I'm like,
she's like,
I feel good.
When it comes to like my enjoyment of playing around with just aesthetic, she's like aspirational to me. She's really
agreed.
Yeah, like if in Constantine is one of my favorite movies that I'm gonna say they just in case, but one of my favorite movies that they're in. Because they play the angel Gabriel. I don't even
know what Tilda Swinton's pronouns are, to be honest. It's never even occurred to me, but yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure. So I've adopted a new mood of, if I'm not sure, I'm going to start trying to use they, and then that way I'm
again,
good.
The grammar person in me is still like always confused for half a second when I hear they, because I keep thinking you're talking about more than one person. So I have to like just get more used to. I mean, I've been hearing they, them to refer to singular people for a couple of years now, but for some reason, I guess because it's been longer in my life, that's always been, I still have to like get used to that.
Yeah. And I'm not gonna lie, like I am such a grouchy bitch to change whenever I have to change things. Like, I bitch, moan, whine, complain, kick, and scream my entire way there.
Some things, I never want to misgender someone. It's literally a momentary confusion. Where I was like, I thought we were talking. Oh, wait. You mean Tilda Swinton? You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's so mine is like, because Emily's seen me do it a couple of times, and then I'll be like, okay, now that I'm done bitching because of change, we're fine. I'm gonna go ahead and change. Like, it's with most change I do that. I'm like, this is so stupid. I don't want to do it. I'm so annoyed. Okay, anyway, back to the reality that I care about people and I'm not being an asshole. I just wanted to throw a fit. Let me throw my fit. Like,
sometimes you just want to fetch, get it out. So, okay, I was trying to let you finish your face beat, Emily, but there's a lot going on, and I like it. I mean, first of all, the cheeks. When you were just still blending out the eye look, I was just like, what is on her cheeks? I need to know.
So the highlighter, which I was using my Midas brush, which is actually really nice. But this is Kristen Lee Cosmetics Birthday Bash. I feel like it might be similar to that new multi-chrome Kaleidos highlighter, but I don't have that to compare. But it's like a orange, green, white highlighter. So pretty. And then
how I feel about yellow cheeks, so I'm already like, what is?
So these are the new blushes from Lethal. So this is, I think, Tendril, and then I have a. Oh no, they have a thing on the back. You can pop it out easy.
They was yelling at me for not having anything Lethal like 2 days ago, wasn't it?
Lethal? The matte eyeshadows from Lethal Cosmetics are my absolute favorite matte formula.
What's their Black Friday situation?
I think they're doing 40% off, but I don't know if they've clarified which specific products are.
Yeah, maybe not. That would be okay. Vanessa Myers is doing 50% off of almost everything. I think maybe like bundles where it's already discounted.
A lot of it wasn't as much as I wanted.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was looking last night. All right. So the yellow is actually Neophyte, the orange is Tendril, and then the really bright coral pinky peach is Calyx. So that's what I did for blush. So I did like yellow, orange, and then some of the peach up here.
Yeah.
And then my eyes, I used ACI 7 from the new Adept Plain Jane palette, which is like a peachy green, shimmery. When this is a beautiful palette. It's all shimmers. It's all like duochrome, iridescent, shimmery shadows.
I know some people don't like that, but I'm like, girl, bronzer. There's your transition shade. Calm down.
Oh yeah. You
Yeah.
could also, I would also pair it with blush. I would have done blush in my crease or blush like that. But
Blush looks great. It really helps kind of tie your whole look together.
exactly. And then on the inner corner, I used E-Electric from Menagerie Cosmetics, which is a really bright.
Oh yes.
And this look actually was inspired by Fefe in the chat because she was talking about how she does like bright inner corner and then like shimmer on the rest of the eyes. And I was like, I want to do a look.
Fefe, I love it.
And then now I realize I need to add brow gel. But and then my lips are Propa Beauty. Made It and Limitless layered over.
I love Propa. I have a colored rain lip today.
The Propa lip products are just like the most creamy, delicious formula.
I know.
Although, thank you for that gift.
They're a little soft if it's warm.
Yeah.
Yes.
I feel like they might, if I had to give one major criticism, I think they might be better in a tube like the Fenty Slip Shines, like one of those tubes where you don't have to reveal.
To use a brand or to refer to a brand that I no longer support, Too Faced, their original melted lipsticks. I actually loved that. If I still supported that brand, I would buy them because it's like a push. It really is a liquid lipstick, not like like you put it on, it dries. Like it's literally like a liquid lipstick. Like you push it up and it's got like a little sponge tip applicator. Some people think that. I don't give a fuck.
But even more like a tube like this where you only scoot it up just a little bit and it held it in better, which is another. This is another brand I no longer support.
Yeah, because that's like flush around the lipstick, whereas the proper ones, it's like a traditional tube and like there's that room for it to basically like get knocked up against. The side.
So
thank you.
But otherwise, on a good sale, especially on a good sale or even not on sale, the proper ones are really, really nice.
Yeah, because there's quite a few sales happening.
I bought a bunch to give away, which have already been given away. So sorry, guys. The people who got them already have them. And then I kept 2 for myself. And I was just like, these are really nice. I should have kept them all.
I was like, let's see. Midas is having 35% off of all of their collaboration palettes. Let me see if Propa's doing anything.
Midas is I'm not as deep in the indie game as you guys are because there's so many brands you guys like can keep track of in your head. Just like, wait, what's the difference between Give Me Glow and JD Glow again? Like,
Give Me Glow is kind of trash, and JD Glow.
And JD Glow is black owned, and we like them. Yes.
Yeah.
Correct.
I got that one in the old lizard brain.
But I mean, it's not easy to necessarily keep up with all of it. It's just like it gets me excited, but it is like hard to be like, wait, so do I want to? What indie brand would I want to try first? And it's like,
yes, because I love supporting small business and I love supporting Black-owned business, all of the above. But sometimes it's just kind of like, is this a gamble? Because there's been so many small businesses and Black-owned businesses where I was just like, well, I won't be talking about them.
I mean,
I have bad experiences. Like it's tricky because I talk so much about supporting small and Black-owned businesses, but then there's a lot where I'm just like, well, this was a bad experience, so I'm just not going to talk about it. I'm like, is that worse? I don't know, because I don't want to like tear down a business because of my personal experience, you know?
You know what though? Emily and I were talking about this on we were talking about luxury makeup, but also just makeup in general. But we were talking about how gatekeeping luxury makeup, and we also kind of brought in, I was like, listen, the expectation of people of color to always be the ones letting you know, and like also having to be the ones who like take part in not buying from a brand. Like I can't get brands to come to the table if like I'm not using it. So like there are some brands that piss me off to a point where I'm like, it's going to be years before I touch your shit again. But like but a lot of it's like, if I want change, but like it's going to take my, non-brown counterparts to fix it. They're not going to listen to me. So I just need to wear the
shit. Where allyship matters.
Yeah. Did you hear about Sam Ravindall saying like to Hourglass?
No, because she's been an Hourglass stan for so long. I gave up on Hourglass last holiday, 2019. I was just like, that's it. I'm fucking sick of this shit. I've been like a supporter of this brand for years. Their powders are beautiful, but like this is like the second or third time in a row where they've released some holiday collection. We're like, fuck you, darkies. And I'm like, you gotta be kidding me.
So they
did it again this year.
They revamped.
And that was her that was her last dance.
So what it was the fact that they took their cream face palette off the market,
Yolanda,
which I know was
my Beetlejuice. We'll talk about that in a second.
Beetlejuice. Okay, I was going to say Beetlejuice is already completely sold out except for the palettes, and its limited editions are not coming back according to Mel.
I fucking bought. I didn't buy a lot. I got the purple green palette, and I got I got the purple pot liner, which is a pigment.
I wanted the green pot liner,
and
but
I got that one. Those are the two I got because
I want to hear your thoughts on it.
Old chartreuse. Just got it yesterday, but like I had set an alarm. I was just like, Melt has played me so many times because it's the same old story with Melt. It's just like interesting, unique, crazy color story. Never seen it before, may never see it again. Then you use it, just like, oh, this is why.
And this is why I didn't go. The purple and green palette still kind of haunts me in a way. Like it's still, but I'm like, I know I
fucking identical. But
that's why I didn't buy it because three of the purples look identical, and then they went more gold in the palette than I like. Just having the one gold, I was like, no, just stay with the greens. But that's because I love green and I love purple. Yeah. But I wanted to say about Hourglass. So they had that cream powder cream face palette. They took it off the market, and they were like, I guess they finally said we're reformulating it. They did all of that. It was gone for like over a year. They only brought back in one color. They had never done other colors. They took all this time to say reformulating. I don't know if they're making it vegan or whatever it was. Came back only in one colorway. And that was when Sam Ravindal was like, okay, I'm done with Hourglass. And Tentalia did the same thing. Yeah. Tentalia was like, I'm not going to review.
I remember, y'all know I'm a cream loving hoe.
I know.
Don't quote me saying that.
That's going to be on your merch. I'm a cream loving hoe.
Just put your creams on my face. Wait a minute.
Regrets.
I waited and waited for them to come out with, because like, unfortunately, I still am like, okay, if 70% of their revenue comes from light medium customers, I understand them doing that first and then doing smaller batches of like whatever the deeper skin tones are, if that's where only maybe 30%, like I don't know the numbers, I'm making this up, but like I will give you just a little bit of rope for that. But they had so much time to release a version of that cream palette that wouldn't be liquid ash on my face, and then they still never did it. And I was just like, strike one. And then there were like strikes 2 through 39. And I was just like, all right, I'm finally done with you guys.
Yeah. They just, so the thing is, I have the foundation and the concealer and I have the primer. Once they're gone, like I'm not going to repurchase those.
I still have many of their powders, and powders last for years. So I'll probably never finish them. I have never hit pan on a bronzer. But
I have powders. Yeah,
it's the 29th, right?
Oh yes, Eeyore's birthday is Sunday, the 29th.
Yes,
I remembered. I'm so proud of me. I was like, I'm proud of me.
Just like the Beetlejuice, I got Yolanda because I had made up my mind that I wasn't going to get anything. I saw Temptalia's review of the palette that I wanted, and then bought the purple green one. I was just like, oh, okay, it sucks exactly the ways I expected it to. The usual issues with Melt, it's just like you're duping yourself in the same palette. Like you got the same shade 3 times. The mattes like don't blend. They turn weird colors and like get darker and globs, like the whole thing. And then I still bought it with 2 because I
what happened?
Sagittarius.
I don't know.
Sorry, I'm also a Sagittarius.
But I don't know. I think it was just the FOMO of it all, because Beetlejuice is literally one of my top 2 to 3 favorite movies. It's like
same.
Terminator 2. I can't help but laugh at myself. Sometimes it's Terminator 2, sometimes, Beetlejuice, Half-Baked, and probably Lebowski. The Big Lebowski are my top 3, and then like Terminator 2 and True Lies up in there. I'm such a fucking bro. It's gross. But anyway.
True Lies. I haven't thought about that movie in a really long
What about Labyrinth?
True Lies. It's just like your classic 90s high body count action movie. It's with like the one-liners. And Jamie Curtis serving body yaddy 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 yaddy.
The reason why I remember that movie, because I'm not much of an action movie fan, but that was the first movie where my father taught me how Hollywood turns brown people into, like, why was it an Arab? Why was it about terrorism that way?
It is so blatantly xenophobic. It was just,
yeah,
like that is.
And it was like, that was the movie. And I think he like randomly stumbled across like us watching it, like meaning like my mom and like some of us. He was like, what the fuck is this trash? And like went off on a whole like rampage about it. So yeah, anyway, but that is kind of a bro-y movie.
We've been having Cagevember. If you have it, like Teresa and me and her husband, like we've been having Cagevember, just like watching old Nicolas Cage movies. We're like, she watched Face Off, like, and when asked how it was, because she was asking me like, well, what's the movie about? I was like, well, like he takes his face off and puts it on the other guy's face. She's like, that's exactly how Alex explained it.
Yeah,
and I was like, that's all I can tell you.
I just realized I was probably
up there with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in terms of like the title tells you exactly what it is. It's like, what's it about? It's about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
The thing was, it was so good at the time, but now you watch it and you're like, you know, the mechanics of this make no sense.
The cartoon,
you literally cannot put your face on another face and like just look like that person.
I told you guys I'm elderly. You want to know how old I am? This is the first movie that I ever.
You have an
VHS. I can't even play this. Like I
don't even have it for sentimental reasons. I don't play.
Yes, it's the first movie I ever bought. I remember I mean, it wasn't like a new movie anymore, but like I've always been a weirdo. So like I've loved this movie so long. As soon as I got enough birthday money when I turned like pretty young, but like I was still like already into the classics by this age. So maybe like 11. I bought this with my birthday money and I can't get rid of it. Like Porter T will not. So like, that's why that was another reason I was like, why do I need fucking makeup that says Beetlejuice? Like I can watch the movie if like merch makeup to me is a weird thing, but they still will tug at your heartstrings and sometimes
they do.
Fall for it.
Because I'm not gonna lie, if a Labyrinth set came out, I would probably lose my shit because like David Bowie in Labyrinth was everything. Just he was Jareth, he was everything. Just like life without your heartbeat. I was like, I was like crying.
If they came out with like a compact that was shaped like his codpiece,
thank you.
I would buy it. Because that wasn't for kids in the first place, was it? That was
that was not for kids.
That was something
like we all like this is like a talking point of everyone who loves Labyrinth is like. Y'all remember when you watched this as a grown up? Like you got older and you're like, oh my god, Labyrinth. Then you're like, why is Hoggle?
Oh no, I think Ageless is complimenting your pants, by the way.
I thought you were
because when you got up, you were like all swishy and gorgeous. I saw that too.
Yeah, everybody's been watching the Queen's Gambit.
Bowie's pants when he's dancing the magic dance. Because I only saw Labyrinth as an adult. I was grown the first time I saw it. I don't know how I never saw it as a kid.
Oh, yeah,
I just missed it. So I saw it as an adult. I was just like, this is a kid's movie?
Yeah, I only saw it as an adult, and I was like, I don't think I even realized it was originally marketed as a kid's movie because I was like, but why would? Okay.
Because Hoggle is legit always junk high. Through like the whole, and every time he has to talk to Hoggle is junk high, and that is the first time that you noticed it because like you probably weren't really paying that much attention to it when he stood up, but then like Hoggle's there and he's like Hoggle, and like it's just you
know what? Okay, you know what this makes me think of a movie that I watched many times as a kid, and was like a movie that everyone was definitely high as fuck when they made was Fantasia.
Yeah,
that was a movie that would be put on in the background, like on the TV when it was just like, why are kids still awake? And for some reason, it was like the movie. And I just saw recently a brand released a Fantasia brush set or like a whole set, like with the hat and everything. And I was like, that movie was not for kids. That it was hot. It was trippy. I knew at whatever age I was watching it, I was like, I feel like I should be on something to watch this.
Disney will just pimp out literally every scrap of their vault multiple times a year.
Yeah.
Multiple times a year.
Yeah, they really do. Like, I mean, has Dark Crystal been been made into a collection yet?
I don't think so, Audra. And I've thought about this before because it's the same shit every year. Like, name a year where we haven't seen at least one Disney collab. I can't do it. Since I've been aware of makeup, I can't think of a single
20 Disney collabs, like a Disney collab every week, practically.
You're boring.
I know Dark Crystal is Jim Henson, but I don't know if Disney owns that or who owns it at this
I'll even take a fucking Fraggle collab. I'm tired of the Disney.
I would love the Fraggles.
And I was already pissed about that.
Colorful.
Yeah, that would be, speaking of trippy, that would be like bright and
Someone owes
colorful
me
and
royalties
interesting.
if that happens, by the way.
Thank you.
Also, they just need to redo the wow, I just forgot the name of it.
Friends?
Miss Piggy.
Oh,
no,
like
not
Friends.
Friends. I don't want to see more Friends makeup. The Ciate Miss Piggy collection, which is already on sale, was
of course it is, because it was
Actually,
like hot garbage. Like,
yeah.
all of Ciate's collabs are immediately on sale. Remember the one with Jessica Rabbit? It was immediately they're like,
yeah, because they also did trash work with that.
Yeah,
and I actually like Who Framed Roger Rabbit is in my probably top 10.
Who Framed Roger Rabbit is
so
And
mad.
I saw that collection. I was just like, it's a no for me, dog. I'd rather just.
that is like
I've said this before on stream. Jessica Rabbit was a sexual awakening, and then that movie was a comedic awakening for me. Because again,
that was an artist awakening for me, because that was the
Yes.
first movie where they successfully, like, full-length movie, people and cartoons interacting with each
and
other.
it looks great.
It looks
Like, it
fantastic.
holds up.
amazing.
The
It's
effects
such a
hold
good
up
movie.
so
Thank
well.
you.
Like, it's unbelievable. Like, considering how tedious. Like, I actually wrote a fucking show, like a trivia based show about just like how difficult it was to pull that shit off, and like the way that it holds up is amazing.
Thank you. You can still watch it today and be like, because like that's why
really
I say
good.
that. To this day, the reason I say stop that laughing is because of that.
It is, you're right. It was an artistic, creative, like awakening to see a mixing of mediums in that way. I don't even think I realized that at the time, but now thinking back, I'm like, you're right. And it does completely hold up in terms of the effects. It's
like even when they were like kissing each other, like she would kiss somebody on the cheek and the skin would push, and I'm like,
yeah. And the like even the sound, like the way, like it was like a comic, but also real in a way. It was like the suctiony sounds.
Performances are so good.
Yeah.
Yes, and I still use a man because of straight men, like whenever they're trying to hit on you and stuff, and I'm like, that's what we should just start doing now. Is like turn around and be like, a man, and run towards them like all the way.
Oh my god, Audra, I say that too. Holy shit. There's so many lines from that movie that are good, because like every time I even hear someone not like shave and a hair, kind of like like he's like
shaking under there like a little crackhead, like
losing his mind. Oh my god! And the guy, I forget the actor's name, but Eddie. His name was Bob something. Again,
he was in a lot of. I feel like he was in a lot of movies.
He was
a Brit. They shot the whole thing in London. So
Bob Hoskins is his name.
Bob
Valiant.
He was acting with nothing a lot of the time. Like, it is amazing the way they made it feel like he's actually in that room with Roger or Jessica, whoever. Because if you look at behind the scenes stuff, he is often like on a blue screen, because this was like the early 90s, I think. So like green screen wasn't even a thing. It was still blue screen. Yeah. And he's like literally just like her like strangling nothing or like thrashing.
Yeah.
Amazing. Like, give that man an Oscar retroactively. Y'all fucked up, Academy.
Yeah, because that was like, honestly, it's amazing. Like the whole thing. Because what's his face? Christopher Lloyd was in that too. He was the bad guy.
I wasn't like a Back to the Future like person. But Who Framed Roger Rabbit was when I like discovered Christopher Lloyd, and I was like,
I still want those sunglasses.
Yes. It was like fashion forward. I mean, that whole thing, just even like when they're driving into Toontown, like, that is just something else. Like, just the way that they were like, there's a clear definition between like humans and Toontown. And once you go in there and, you know, the whole like Donald Duck and Daffy Duck, like dueling pianos and like the whole thing. I was like, And it had Betty Boop in there, like the whole thing.
Everything. It was amazing to see all those characters on screen together. But it's like, but you guys are from different brands.
I know. That's the other big thing too.
Yeah, like I can't even imagine what a nightmare it must have been to license all those characters. But the other thing with Christopher Lloyd as Judge Doom is just like how much he hates cartoons.
I know.
But like his entire like secret evil plan is based on real history, because that's what happened in LA. It was all about getting rid of public transportation to create freeways and sell more cars. That's literally what happened. So it's actually based on real events in a weird way.
Isn't there a Penny Dreadful season based off of that as well?
Haven't seen
Penny Dreadful does, because I know somebody said that they were watching Queen's Gambit. I'm sorry, y'all. I tried to watch that. I can't. I apologize. I can't. I got bored. It's another white story, and I don't want to be rude. It's just another one, and I can't do it. I can't. I tried it, and I
don't even know what it's about. I just keep hearing people say the name, and I'm just like, I'm good.
She plays chess, and she's just another big-eyed, super pale girl. And she's a very good actress, but the whole thing is, it's just in the olden days, the olden days when women weren't supposed to play chess. So I just can't do it. I tried, I watched like 2 episodes, and I was like, this is giving me like massive anxiety, because I've seen this kind of show again, and I know it's going to win all these awards.
Yeah.
And and I'm just like, I can't do these things. Like, I can't do it. Bring me some Black stories, please, and thank you.
Yeah.
So I tried.
It's pretty hard to get me on board if there's 0 Black people on your show, but I will confess, I am watching one of the whitest shows I've seen in a long time. This new thing with Nicole Kidman and Hugh Grant. Like, can you get any whiter?
What?
But it's an HBO
white
show.
Icon.
The Undoing, I want to say. It's just about like rich white people having rich white people problems, just like murder. Like, it's like one of those.
Goodness.
And I'm enthralled. There's like one Black character, and she is good. She is good.
Yeah.
But I'm just like, usually, like, I cannot, like, if you're gonna have 0 Black people, you're gonna have 0 clicks from me.
Yeah, I mean, there's a Black girl in it, but like in Queen's Gambit, but like, why? Like that.
Because hashtag diversity.
Yeah,
and that's my
I'll just
issue.
cohort it, even when it's just like, but this person may as well be white. Like, what difference?
That's my thing. Is I'm like, just please stop throwing us in there. Just have it be your all white cast if you want to. That's fine. It doesn't bother me.
In politics, we also have identity casting.
Yeah, I don't need like a random Black, because basically she was there as the mammy, but like
mammy.
She's a young mammy, but she is the man. Like, and people don't realize that when we say mammy, we're not specifically talking about age. We're just talking about the Black person, the Black woman who guides you through life.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what she did.
I would feel like it's the magical Negro and the mammy are very similar in function.
Yeah.
It's sort of just like, well, I'll fix everything for you, boss. Like that kind of bullshit.
Yeah. So I really tried to watch it, and I was just like, I can't do this anymore. I'm gonna go watch something else.
That's so sweet. I still have to heat up my traditional Thanksgiving pizza.
Oh, listen, my auntie put her foot up in this mac and cheese, and I wish that you could have some, because
I'm good. I mean, I do enjoy, like, of the few things that I wouldn't mind having for Thanksgiving, that's one of them. But most Thanksgiving food is just like, I don't want to eat that same fucking shit it's the same dinner every year, and then you have it again a month later. Who gives a shit?
Yeah, see, I'm always glad that growing up, like Thanksgiving and Christmas dinners were not the same. So, because I think I would have been like, you gotta be fucking kidding me.
We would,
because it was just me and my mom. We would have Italian food and Chinese.
Yeah,
food.
we would do like,
that all the time.
Turkey, let's do a lasagna for Christmas. Like, we would do stuff like that.
Yeah.
Still, it's just like, it's still the same basic meal, like, because they're still gonna have like the same fucking pies. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just like, ugh.
And like everybody's posting, and they're like, "Look, my pie." I'm like, "The pies that everybody else made, I got it. Like, it's pie. Stop it." And you know how we feel about pie. But like,
I would if I could only have one, I'll take cake over pie. But I do enjoy a good pie, especially if the crust is right. Like, the crust is everything.
Yeah,
but she is now like, not like you were already in the family, but now just like, welcome home for the cake. The world is
cake over pie. Again, dessert. I made dessert
But I
personally.
still feel like
have
anyone who likes pineapple on pizza should be executed, and I will not back down.
I will not back down either.
You're incorrect.
If I have to
So
have
do you,
pizza,
Irene, but I don't want you to.
like if I have to have it,
Also,
okay.
Yolanda is speaking my language because Rami is right. Turkey, I could never eat turkey again. I could never eat turkey again and be completely happy with my life. I know. I still need to order food.
Well, but it's rarely something like I'm excited about. And I said this at our last our pre-Thanksgiving NapFam brunch. I was just like, turkey tastes like the color that it is.
It does.
It's like, beige.
The only way that I like turkey is that like I take the dressing because my family makes like bomb gravy and all that shit. So like I take their gravy and then I also take like the stuffing and then like I make like a little I guess you could call it because I cut the piece of the meat and then I put the stuffing on top of it and then I put a little bit of gravy and it's like a whole process.
Lube up that Turk.
But here's the thing: is I would just rather take everything else. Just give me the mashed potatoes and the stuffing and the gravy. There are ways to make good gravy without making turkey. Like I don't need the turkey in the equation.
Honestly, I just think that the sides are it, and we just need to stop having like the meat dish part. Like I'm fine with the mac and cheese and the dressing, and I am fine with the rice. I am fine with all of that. And you're right. Like, here's the thing. The only thing I like about pie is its crust. I don't like the innards of the pie because I don't like hot fruit. So what
about you're not like because I'm like there's like pudding pies, there's like cream pies, there's pumpkin pies, pecan pies.
Like you're into hot fruit? No, I don't like hot fruit. It sounds like a euphemism, like code
I know, like I'm not into hot fruit, but I will. It's weird though. I'll eat a fried pie, but I will not eat like baked pie.
It's your balance of fruit to crust.
Yes,
I'm gonna say
because the fried pie has way more crust.
When I would get the piece of apple pie, I would basically like eat all of the inside like I was eating my vegetables, so I could enjoy the crust last. I just want to enjoy this. So
that's
like,
amazing.
It hurts, so it would be out of the way, and then I could like enjoy the crust like a weirdo because like we don't waste food in my house. Still don't.
That's why I get cobbler.
Yeah,
because I'll get cobbler and then I'll just like pick out all of the fruit and just all I do is eat crust. I'm like, so good. And people like look over at my plate and they're like, what the fuck? And I'm like, I don't like that part. I came for the crust. Like, well, you can't have another piece if you're just gonna eat the crust. I'm like, I can do what I want. I am grown.
We're not Thanksgiving Grinches. We're not telling people they can't eat what they want. We just have feelings.
Yeah, we're saying what we will leave behind.
Yes.
And another thing last weekend, y'all can keep that green casserole, that bullshit ass Campbell's mushroom soup, and that.
Faye doesn't know what.
Get it out of my face.
Faye doesn't know what fried pie is.
It's like a hand pie, yeah.
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 Yeah. Like if you've ever had, this is probably even a more foreign reference. If you've had an empanada, it's that kind of format. But instead of savory, you have a sweet pie crust and you have it filled and it's all closed up and then fried. Yeah. It's like McDonald's fried apple pie.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. That's a fried pie.
Yeah.
But theirs isn't good. Whataburgers is just like Whataburgers fried apple pie is the fried pie of all pies.
It's okay, Faye.
It's okay, Faye.
I made my friend Sarah her first birthday cake. She was like a junior in college, and she's Palestinian. So, like, I understand to some degree.
Yeah, like the only reason I was taken aback is because I was just like, oh, fried pie. Like,
my favorite.
I know. I'm like, I love fried pie. You don't know what it is. I must find a way to get
pie.
Yes. Yeah. There's so many good ways to eat green beans.
Why? Green bean casserole.
Why does it look like somebody spooged in it? It's disgusting.
It looks like
on that note, I need another drink. I'll be back.
It's like
green bean casserole looks like food that somebody already ate.
Yes. Like disgusting. They already ate it, threw it back up, and then somebody was like, "Blap!" And you're like, "Oh, why?"
This is why Black people goof on white people's cooking. Like green bean casserole is a big part of that. It's just like, what are y'all doing? What is things?
I don't know. And you know what? On Twitter, I got so pissed today because I saw like they're like, what would you do if this was if this was served to you? And it's this turkey, and as they're cutting it, I go, I swear to God, if that's fucking cake, and it was cake, and I was like, ah! And I just like lost my mind because this whole thing where they're like, we want this food, it's cake, but it looks like food. I'm like, there's something wrong with y'all. Y'all all need help. Because if you do that in my house, you are getting handled.
I hate y'all.
It can be fun. As somebody who worked at a bakery, that can be fun. But it doesn't need to be taken to the extreme that the internet is taking it. Like
they had a whole ass turkey. A whole turkey.
Wait. But can I just say, what I think is way worse than any is this cake food thing is the amount of people that get babies or pregnant bellies as cake. You have no idea. This is a thing.
Wait, what?
They will get a cake that is like a baby's belly for their baby shower.
So
or like
a cake that looks like a pregnant woman's belly.
Yes, and you cut into the belly and serve. I know, I'm sorry, Audra, but I'm like, the food thing doesn't bother me at all because I've seen that.
May I ask what kind of people were ordering this cake?
It's not just white people. It's more than just white people.
I'm just asking.
I've seen it. It's usually Americans. It's not usually like first generation immigrants, but I've seen white people and black people order it.
Were those black people in the sunken place? Because that's the only way.
I don't get to know customers like that. They can stay 30 feet away, please.
I feel like I'm having a personal crisis right now. Just like extrapolating this in my head. Like, I've been silent for a long time because I'm going through something.
You know what's even better? What's even better is when they decide that they must have the cake flavor inside be red velvet. So you cut into it and then it's red. Irene is also having. Do I need to pull up references from the internet?
No, these people need to be stopped. It's bad enough that these people are like, I've got a bun in the oven, and he's like, I stuffed the bun or whatever it is that these people are doing with their pregnancy.
I posted this the other day, girl. I think it was. I'll see if I can find it on my phone because I really am. My stories. Oh my god, this is ridiculous! Like I didn't even know this was a thing, but apparently there's like a trend of like when, and I'm.
It's so gross.
But this is not a thing that Black people are going to do. Where hopefully you guys can see. Her shirt says. Oops.
Yeah, no, they're disgusting.
I'm so stuffed with a little turkey. And then his shirt says, I made the stuffing. And then someone decided to translate. Her shirt says, I'm full of cum. And his shirt says, I came in her. Because like that's
I just love the translation because it is.
I'm so stuffed with a little turkey. I'm so full of cum. That's what. Same diff. Yeah. Tomato.
I just don't. I'm glad I'm not taking part in any of that for my life. That's all I'm gonna say because I can't. Because like y'all, if I was a person who was going to have children, best believe y'all would find out that I was pregnant and had a child like after it was born and probably a year old. Like I would be on YouTube and like all of a sudden I would just be like, can you get the baby? And then and just like leave that in. Like, and people were like, you have a baby? I'm like, yeah, I have a whole baby. Like,
you guys probably won't know her, but there's a YouTuber I follow who does like pretty much exclusively like hair, a little bit of makeup. Her name's Peak Mill. She had 2 secret babies, 2 whole ass babies.
Wow.
She like wasn't posting that much for maybe a year, and then she started posting again, and then like randomly in one video she has a whole ass daughter. She's like, when did you have a baby? And then she did it again. There's like, these are my daughters. She's like, huh? When? How? I respect the privacy hustle because if I've been an intensely private person while living a semi-public life, that is next level. That's next level.
Yeah, because like I don't know. I would not want to do it because you see the way people act to people like RBK had some bullshit go down on her pregnancy. And I mean, I'm just generally not interested in anyone's pregnancy. I'm going to be honest, but like,
yeah.
So it's like you announce this and then suddenly people have some shit to say to you. And I am not the one. I'm not the one.
Nope.
You say some shit to me. I'm not going to just cry and get upset. I am going to come for your whole family. Like,
I also just feel like, and this is maybe a little bit more serious, but I feel like there are so many health issues and fertility issues that things can happen. And I feel like if I ever had a situation or somebody around me had a situation where they announced and then things changed, that's really hard when you have an audience and now people are asking questions. They're like, even if they mean well, it's just a lot. And I feel like
93 run 5 minutes is probably about 4 minutes too many.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's like emotion and you're done. It's a second. It's like 5 seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm baffled by Kerry Washington. Also, I just want to say, if you don't know the website Cake Rex, it is a delight. It's not all this pregnancy themed cakes. It's just hilarious things that happen on cakes. And like people ask for this and get this, and you're like, how did that happen? So
I think I've seen people like when I used to have the Book of Faces, that I've since removed myself from. I had I'm telling you, I had a good epiphany. Like right before everything popped off in March, I was like, you know what? I'm going to deactivate this shit. And I did. And then like the whole world just, and I was like, good thing I don't have to see all those racists on my Facebook. And I just went on about my business. And like, the cool thing is like
Twitter both. I just was like, no, like I never joined either.
Yeah. I like Twitter. The thing about Twitter though, is like, you get what you want. Like if you want to be like, because people will complain, be like, it's so negative. I'm like, well, stop clicking on the negative shit and it won't be negative. Like it's whatever you click on. Yeah. So like anytime somebody says that, I'm like, well, then you messy. If you don't just admit you're messy. Quit saying
Instagram too. Like I don't feel like I see that much bullshit on Instagram until I do it to myself. It's like, I shouldn't look at the comments under this. I shouldn't look at the comments.
Yeah.
Let me just have a quick look. And then I'm like, God damn it.
And then the algorithm knows. And so it's like, oh, we're going to show you more of this kind of content that you want to look at the comments for.
You, Jeffrey Henry. You guys, it's 3:20.
Yeah, we have to.
So I need to have a wee and I need to refill before our little private party. So those of you guys who are on either the Discord for Legutta Gang or on my Patreon, we'll see you guys in the Zoom. Hopefully we're going to keep this going. It'll be more relaxed. We won't have to kind of respond to a delayed chat. It'll be a bit more just Thanksgiving parasocial family time. And
if you're unfamiliar with Zoom, you don't have to show your face. Like you don't have to join in video or even audio. You can be completely muted and just be listening and pop in when you want. And if anyone,
you can be video, no audio. If you just want to get on some mime type of tease, you can be video with audio. You can be audio, no video, or you can just be no video, no audio, just participating in the chat. So whatever makes you most comfortable. It's not that serious. We're just going to have fun. We're going to eat. We're going to drink. We're going to kiki.
Yeah.
Yes, and I am putting, because you know what, y'all, I've not been on my shit today, so I will put everything in there. I just want to thank each and every one of y'all for showing up. I'm glad that we could all kind of hang out. I just want to make sure that nobody was left alone. I know that this is tougher than usual, but I just want to make sure that nobody was really left alone, because that's just really, really sucky. And we choose our family a lot of times. Like, even if you're born into a family, you don't have to keep them. So just keep that in mind. Thank you all for visiting and coming with us. I love each and every one of you. And until next time.
So grateful for you guys as well.
Yes, so thankful for this community.
Grateful for all of you. All right, bye y'all.